Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers. It's your brother Kevin Muhammad on the West Coast, bringing to you that Injil as revealed to us by Master Suleiman Rahim, the breaker of the seven seals of the 22 chapters of the book of Revelation, to bring us, brothers and sisters, the Injil. The Injil, brothers and sisters. We are at war, brothers and sisters. We are at war, but we know it not. So the one man who will reveal that and make that known to the Abraham seed to prepare us for our trip home and to give us the mindset to think in so that the war or the abomination of desolation won't catch us uh, in the all of a sudden. It'll catch us when we see the signs that's laid out, that has been revealed, that would be laid out, and then we'll know to act. We'll know what to do. We'll know what to expect. See, but if the master Suleiman had not broke those seals, and then we wouldn't be able to see a sign, the sign of Jonah, talking about the abomination and desolation, talking about when the head demon of the NOI is taken out of his position, and the messenger of the covenant, Master Suleiman, assumed that position, assumed that spot to be able to have a platform to um, awaken the 17 million of us that are under the title of Lazarus, that's caught up in a mental dead, that Master Farad Muhammad came 91 years ago to give us and raised up the 59,999 Levites, Elijah being the 60th and the one put in charge to show us, to go through the process of pulling our resources and showing us what we must do once we are taken back to our own land. So Master Suleiman is here to give us the verbal part of the war. Before the war began, we have to hear it in our ears so that we can now be familiarized with that which is going to take place. It gotta take place. That's what Master Farad Muhammad is back in the so-called Middle East doing. That's what Master Farad Muhammad is in the Middle East doing. And everybody got a plan. Satan got a plan. The demons got a plan. But they plan don't trump over Master Farad Muhammad's plan. You see, brothers and sisters, all of this has been put in place way before we got here. We write history every 25,000 years and walk right into it. So the book had already advocated that there was no man in the heaven, no man in the earth, no man under the earth that will be able to break the seals and give us our understanding of what we're supposed to be doing in this day and time through scriptures. But the enemy, they know damn well what time it is because, see, this time coincides with our time. The end of the 400 years coincide the end of the enemy. But the enemy don't want to give up their space. They've been here for 6 days, and a day with the God is 1,000 years. So they've been here for 6,000 years, and their time is ready to be coming up, and it coincides with our time, which we're ready to come up. We're ready to rise back in our position of rulers of not only the earth, but all therein. So therefore, the enemies know this. So they know that when 2019 rolled around, that signify the 400 years. So the enemy has been listening to Solomon night and day for 30 years. Night and day for 30 years. So they figured that as long as they keep on putting their voices in, keep on putting in and causing those who's supposed to be following Elijah and the Levites and preaching about the messenger of the covenant and telling us and getting our mind familiar with the Abraham covenant and letting us know after Master Solomon had broken the seals and given us the mathematical language on how to think and to get us out of the thinking of the analytical mind and get us into the thinking of the spatial mind so we could be mentally prepared for the war, a verbal war. A verbal war is totally different from the physical war. The verbal war is the one who comes in first to let you know that a physical war is on its way. It's on the horizon. And by downloading the Injil and listen to Master Suleiman, because after he broke those seven seals of the 22 books of or chapters of Revelation, it had revealed to him the past, the present, and the future. So therefore, he know what the enemy is going to do. So he has been giving us these lectures for the last 30 years, going on 31, so that we can know that the 34 million a black man and black woman, the seed of Shabazz, can know. But we know after the seals have been revealed that half of us are demons, and the black people on the planet, we're not the only ones that has demon. Anytime a devil, the European, go into any woman, that's what he creates. He creates a demon for that them people, that race. Now we know that the black man and black woman is not a race because a race has a beginning and an ending. So we're not of that. We're not a race. We're the creators. We create everything that you see in existence. And this is our creation. We are the gods, we are the creators, and this is our creation that we're in. But because of energy deprivation that we had suffered from, we had to create, we had to make, not create, we had to make another man that would had low maintenance, that could survive during our energy deprivation. And that's why a master Farad Muhammad, Father Fonzo Muhammad, went to the Caucasus Mountain to get him, not only to hide him in that skin of European skin so that he can come in undetected where we were held captives at by Europeans, but that skin was also, he was not suffering from energy deprivation because he had the skin of sin. You know how the book of the Bible breaks it down and let us know how it is, brothers and sisters. So the physical world, the verbal war is at a end, or close as hell to it, brothers and sisters, because as I stated, the enemy has been listening night and day for 30 years to Master Suleiman Rahim. But we, the seed of Abraham, have not been listening. We have not been listening because there has been another player in the game who was sitting in the seat of the messenger, Elijah Muhammad. Farrakhan has been sitting in the seat playing the music, playing that music of Elijah, but changing the verbs, changing the audio, not talking the same thing that Elijah was talking. And you know, we've been through this before, brothers and sisters. We know what Farrakhan is talking. what Elijah and what Master Fard Muhammad was not talking. Elijah Muhammad was not talking about 7 states that we was going to live here among our enemy with as neighbors. Master Fard Muhammad did not come over here to tell us that we was going to stay here in this land that will be burnt, that will be on fire, that you'll be able to see and smell the smoke. He told us, he came to tell us that our time here was ready to come to an end. Matter of fact, we had 91 more years. That's what he was coming to tell us, and that's what Elijah Muhammad was telling us, and setting the example by raising a nation within a nation. Our actions once we left here and went back to Arabia, to the promised land, and remove that sand, that will be our milk and honey. That will be our milk and honey, because now that fertile land that we covered up 50,000 years ago when we left was covered up with sand. So when we take that sand off, that land will be fertile, brothers and sisters. Our milk and honey that a nation, the tribe of Shabazz will be able to thrive off of, brothers and sisters. Now we'll be able to rebuild on that land. We won't have no Democrat, no Republican, no Green Party. We won't be under our enemy anymore. We'll have that knowledge and understanding. We'll have the messenger of the covenant, Master Suleiman. Will be, and he'll gather us all together and then turn us over to Master Fard Muhammad. Master Fard Muhammad, the God, will be leading us. See, so the verbal war is ready to come to an end. Well, Muhammad, how do you know that? Well, the things that took place has been taking place in the last few months with the messenger of the covenant, the warner that's been waking us up, that's been telling us how we should be thinking, telling us what we should be downloading into our minds so we can get that mathematical thinking, that spatial thinking into our head, into our dome. He's been doing an operation on us, a verbal operation, telling us and letting us know and leading us in that direction of mathematical thinking, so that we can now be prepared, so when the abomination and desolation take place, that we'll know exactly what to do. We won't hesitate, brothers and sisters. We won't hesitate. We won't freeze and get killed. See, so before Elijah and before Master Fard Muhammad came and told us that we are the true seed of Abraham, the tribe of Shabazz, and the inheritance of the Abraham covenant, the people that's in Israel now was being burnt by the Germans from 1941 to 1945, and probably long before that. You do the history, the research, and find out with that about that. But they were in that land. They were in that same area. They didn't leave no land for no 400 years. I just stated 1941 to 1945. 4 years. That's all. 4 years, and we've been in the North American wilderness for 400 years. That don't add up, brother. 4 years and 400 years. The Jews who's in that land right now, and them false Jews that's occupying our land and try to go under the Abraham covenant, is 396 years out of date. Other words, they can't live up to that scripture of being in a strange land for 400 years. The only one that live up to that scripture, brothers and sisters, is us, the Asiatic black man and his black woman, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, the God of the universe. And that's what Master Farad, that's what Master Suleiman has been warning us about for the last 30, going on 31 years, to prepare our mind. So, like I said, the enemy has been listening. They know what time it is. And when they sent out that assassination attempt on the messenger of the covenant to try to silence his voice and try to make it appear like he died from the covert, so-called covert academic, by messing with using nicotine to mess with his breathing, mess with his him coughing and doing the things that he did. They were trying to make him cough himself to death, and then you know what they'd have did? They'd have labeled it under the covert vaccine, and then told us, see, that's not. He wasn't the real Warner for you. He wasn't. He wasn't the real Warner for the and telling us about the Abraham covenant, telling us about the breaking of the seven seals of the 22 chapters of Revelation. He wasn't the one. See, because the plague was supposed to pass over y'all, but it didn't. He died. No, no. You had him. You had him in a stranglehold. He know he's strong. He know he can outdo you. But when you had him on the bed, when you had your stranglehold wrapped around his neck, that chokehold on him, in his last breath, right before you choked him out, he called on Master Farad Muhammad, the God, huh? He called on Master Farad Muhammad, and Master Farad Muhammad rushed down with that thought and placed it inside of his mind. So now not only did he find out what was really had him coughing and almost coughing to death, what had took all his energy, so now his energy was fighting against that which was trying to kill out his voice, killed out the Warner. Once he got that in his mind, he went right to the source and eliminated it. And now he's back on the recovery. Now, since he eliminated that which was trying to kill the voice, trying to kill the verbal warning, the verbal war, to wake us up, to let us know what time it is, and to let us know what we must be doing. The God, he called on Master Farad Muhammad, who rushed to the scene to bear witness to us, to bear witness that there is a true God, not a mystery God, not a fake God, not a make-believe God, but a real flesh and blood man, Master Farad Muhammad. So us as the NGO warriors who stand with Master Suleiman, now we have to bear witness to the truth, because the proof is there for us to see. Master Suleiman has showed us and gave us the last lecture he gave. He was telling us how sick he was. He was telling us that it was something that was affecting him, but it wasn't the coronavirus, but it was similar symptoms. But once he called on Master Farad Muhammad, and Master Farad Muhammad sent him the 411, he's on the recovery. He's back on the scene. So, brothers and sisters, the abomination and desolation is going to take place real soon. It's coming up, brothers and sisters. But Master Suleiman is here to prepare our mind and to prepare us for that trip to get us ready to make us back to the promised land. It's Master Fraud Muhammad who know the exact date that false Israel will be taken under siege. That the power that give false Israel its power. Because as I stated prior to 1941, they was burning them Jews. 41 to 45. Nobody gave a damn. Nobody lifted a damn finger against Hitler and his boys. So once Hitler got taken out of place and his army got defeated, they and see, because Master Fard Muhammad already came and told them who was the true children of Israel. It was us. So they decided, hey, look, since we know that these niggas here in the North American wilderness are ones who the true children of Israel, you know what I'm saying? But we still got 90 years, 91 years to go. So we're going to put some false people in that position. So that's what they did in 1948. So they put they false individuals. They start the process of putting the false Jews in that position, and Master Suleiman's father started the process of shooting that seed in his wife and conceiving the Christ, Master Suleiman. Since Britain and America was going to put the false Christ, the false Christ in the position, the false children of Israel in the position in that land, and then the Christ and the Antichrist was brought into existence at the same time. The one being put in position by the gods of this world. And the gods of this world, you know what they say. This world is ruled by devils and plagued by demons. So when they start putting the false Israel, the false Jews in that position in the promised land, Britain and America, Gog and Magog, with their power to put them in that position through might, through military might, through weapons of mass destruction, through bombs and troops and boots on the ground. Starting out at a 50-mile radius and then coming inward and killing everybody in that 50-mile radius, scaring them out of their position. So they scattered the Israelites, scattered and left that area. And now, for the last 73 years, the false Israel has been in that area. And the United States and Britain has been paying for that false, for them false Jews to be in that area. So everybody can get off the focus that the true children of Israel resides as prisoners in the North American wilderness. So they pay they preachers at the theologian school not to preach about the promised land, not to preach about the Abraham covenant. That's what they pay they ministers and they so-called bishops, those black-faced demons that look like us and talk like us, but are the seeds from their devil daddy, who went into a black woman and created a half devil and a half man, which is called a demon, which the books of Revelation, the 22 books of Revelation, after Master Suleiman broke those seven seals, have revealed to us. Not the Hollywood version of a demon, but the real, true version that the scriptures have revealed. And now we know they look like us. They talk like us, but they're spies for their daddy. They're the ones in between that is not talking about the Abraham covenant. That's not talking about the promised land, but telling you a false and fake vision of the devil so he can extend his 6,000 years and blow up our biological world and bring into existence a mechanical world, a robotic world with a biological brain and a mechanical body that won't be hurt by the biological ways of this world. So, brothers and sisters, I'm your brother, Kevin Muhammad, from the West Coast, bringing to you that Injil as taught by Master Suleiman to reveal to you that we at war, but the verbal war is coming to an end and the physical war is up on us, brothers and sisters. So when you see the head demon Farrakhan get kicked out of the NOI from within, and then that'll be a sign. And then the abomination and desolation of the false Israel, who been in position for 73 years, perpetrating a fraud, where America and Britain been paying annually, every 3 to 4 months. They've been paying to keep that false lie, paying billions and billions of dollars to fortify that claim that they are the true children of Israel. And if they would have succeeded in knocking off the voice of Master Suleiman, the messenger of the covenant, they'd have told us that, see, we told y'all that that was the true children of Israel, but we know it's not. That's why Master Suleiman knew who to call on. He took it to the last step. And then he knew, hey, look, I can't do this. I got to call on the God. I got to call on the backup. And what did he do? He called on the God, and the God backed him up. Download that Injil, brothers and sisters, so you can and we can be prepared to beat that number. Again, 34 million, half 17 million is demons, spies for master, spies for the devil. The other 17 million of us don't know our right hand from our left hand, because Farrakhan has deceived the Levites and have not been telling us about the Abraham covenant, has not been preaching to us about the promised land, has not continued Elijah's teaching. What he has done is taught Sunniism, taught Ron Hubbard. What did Aaron do when Moses left, brothers and sisters? Did not the children ask for a God, ask for an image to worship? And he told them to go collect the gold. Brothers and sisters, what are you doing in the Nation of Islam right this minute? Are you not collecting gold under the symbol of Bitcoins? 2 years back, brother, I was caught up in the same thing. Brother Ethan in Texas got me caught up. Spent 4,700 on some gold that he said that, hey, keep it in the German bank. And that's what I did. And then all of a sudden, a year and a half, 2 years later, he said, oh, yeah, take it out that German bank and put it in a Swiss bank. Here's the account. This is what you do, and blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm trusting the brother because he had the name of Muhammad You know what I'm saying? And I put my gold in that bank the same day, brothers and sisters, it disappeared. So, 3 or 4 months later, when I look back to check on it, because me and my son was talking about some gold, and I said, "Oh yeah, I got some." And I pulled up on the internet and Kev, look in here and see. And he pulled it up and like, "Hey, Daddy, there ain't no gold up in here. It's gone." I'm like, "What?" And then he did went back and found out that the same day this brother Ethan told me to put it in the Swiss account, it got taken out of it. And the brother claimed, "Hey, look, man, I don't know what happened. You supposed to monitor it and blah 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 blah." It's a damn lie, brother. It's okay though. That ain't gonna get you. Ain't going nowhere with that. The consequences is gonna tear your ass up. So we ain't worrying about that. What I'm here to tell you about and to reveal to you is what Master Suleiman is revealing to us, the messenger of the covenant. You didn't close his mouth. You didn't shut him up. All you did is made us bear witness that he's in line with Master's Farad Muhammad. That Master Farad Muhammad is still in tune. He know what's happening. He know what his job is, and he know Master Suleiman's job. And he know if he had to come back and intervene against the enemy that's trying to take out the mouthpiece, trying to take out the warner, trying to take out the verbal part of the war that we're in, brothers and sisters. Take out your warner. They did not succeed. They only made us bear witness to the truth that the abomination and desolation is about to happen and soon. So, brothers and sisters, we just warning you. We just preparing you. So when you do see it, it won't be like the shock of the hour to you. You'll be able to react. You'll be able to react, brothers and sisters, not in a way that'll get you killed, not in a way that'll get you killed. You love your enemy so much, you move right next door to them. They brought you an apple pie when you moved in. I hope you didn't eat it, but if you did and you didn't get sick and die, they still setting you up. When the abomination and desolation take place and false Israel is wiped off the map, they're gonna realize that you are the true seed of Abraham, that you are the beneficials of the Abraham covenant. You are the ones that's being prepared through Master Suleiman on how to think with that mathematical thinking to prepare you for this abomination and desolation. So they're going to try to eliminate all of us as they can. And they ain't going to be checking to see if you the one half or the other half of the 34 million. They ain't going to see if, hey, are you a demon? They're going to be looking at everybody that's black. And we know just because you look like us, you got the same skin tone as us, that all skin folks is not kin folks. And you can tell them right away. They the ones that's quick to jump up. Oh no, he's not that. And the ones, the preachers, the ones that's got the title, that they ministers is the one that's preaching about. They say they the in between God and us. And you know who's the God of this world. The world is ruled by devils and plagued by demons. So they're getting paid by their God, the European, to keep the lie and keep his vision going, and to drown out, to not to tell you about the 400-year covenant that the God made with the seed of Abraham, the tribe of Shabazz. So, brothers and sisters, as I came before you, so should I leave you in the peaceful words of Assalamu alaikum. And download that into your brothers and sisters, and just think and do for yourself and see what side is the right side versus the wrong side. But if you don't do it, brothers and sisters, all we can do is warn you. Assalamu alaikum.